Hey there, my name is Adiola Kingsley James. I hope you've had a wonderful holiday or having a wonderful holiday. Is Easter. How was your Good Friday? And today is Easter Saturday. I hope, and then of course we have bank holidays all over the year. And I hope that you're spending a lot of quality time with family and friends and also with yourself. Because if you cannot give yourself anything, you cannot give it to other people as well. My name is Adiola Kingsley James once again. I'm a rapid transformational therapist and hypnotherapist. But that's not who I am, that's what I do. Who I am, I'm air. I give people a reason to live, love, and breathe. I'm light. I bring clarity and understanding. I'm unconditional love. I love because it's who I am, and I'm an example on earth that God exists. I'm a life giver, kingmaker, and love being. Now, I talked about being a life giver and I talked about being a rapid transformational therapist. That's where those hats cross, yes? And so, as a therapist and hypnotherapist, if you give me the permission to, I'll give you your life back, to be honest. I had to train as a rapid transformational therapist because I went through the therapy myself and it changed my life around. It was one of the best decisions ever that I've ever made. And I'm so grateful that I did that. And because of that, and I saw what it did to me, I thought to go and train so I can help millions of other people. And that's why I'm here today. Okay, now I want to talk about the importance of hypnotherapy. And I'm going to break it down in the way that I had to understand it to do it. Because in Nigeria and Africa, hypnotherapy, I mean, I guess it may be all over the world. Hypnotherapy, for some people, is demonic. For some people, is controlling. I never want to lose control. You hear all kinds of things, right? And I felt it was demonic. I was one of the demonic ones, right? And so I had to understand the process for myself. Now, what happens in hypnotherapy? It's a kind of therapy. That's all I'm going to say. With hypnosis as one of the tools, right? Why hypnosis? I'll tell you something. Between the ages of 0 and 8, we're formed in our subconscious mind 85%. Between the ages of 9 and 18, 10%, 19 till you die, 5%. So who we're showing up as today, our habits, our behaviors, our beliefs, was deposited in us, nature, nurture, between the ages of 0 and 8. Now, for us to be able to change it, if there's certain things that don't serve you, i.e. anxiety, you find out that you're always anxious about certain things, you learned it, right? It's not hereditary, it's not in your genes. You learned the behavior from your parents or caregivers. It's in your subconscious mind. For us to change that, we need to understand the root, the cause, and the reason. And then empower that person. Now, sometimes it's your 3-year-old, sometimes it's your 4-year-old, sometimes it started when you were 6 years old, sometimes it happened in your mother's womb. Your mother maybe was anxious carrying you as a baby, and you picked the feelings and you brought it into the world, and you thought that that's what was good for you. In hypnotherapy, we'll change it all around and empower that child, that unborn child, or the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-year, 10-year-old, so that the 50-year-old showing up today is empowered. That's all it is. And it's the best decision you can ever take in your life to change things from the ground level. Now, talk therapies, NLP, CBT, all them ones are great. Rapid transformational therapy has all of that in it, to be honest. So they're all great, but they touch just certain levels in your consciousness. And your consciousness is what's ruling you 10%, approximately. Your subconscious, 90% approximately. So where would you rather change? Your consciousness or your subconscious? Which one is more deepening? Which one is more uprooting? It is the subconscious. And so that's what hypnotherapy will do for you. So I want to talk about hypnotherapy and weight shed. I never say weight loss, and I'll tell you why. Every time you think about losing something, how do you feel? Exactly. You feel sad. You feel bad. You feel a sense of fear. That's what happens when your body hears weight loss. Especially if you've come from a time where you've lost so many things and people. Your body hears weight loss. We're not losing anything again. We're holding on to this. And so in hypnotherapy, we want to find out why you're holding on to the weight and what it's doing for you. Because a lot of times we think that our vices that are negative are bad for us, when in truth, they're actually protecting us. In hypnotherapy, you'll find that out as well. And I trained with the renowned world best Marissa Peer, okay? So I know exactly what I'm saying. I've seen it countless times. How people, once they change their subconscious mind and understand why they're holding on to the weight and they change it around, magic happens and they start to shed the weight and they keep it off. A lot of these diets, you may lose weight a bit and then you add it back again gradually. You yo-yo up and down because the work is not external, it's internal. I remember when I did a session around my weight, I was holding on to it because I felt I was a carer and an empath and I needed the body to hold people. Can you imagine that? I needed to have the body to hold people and give them warmth. And I needed the body to hold me too, to give me warmth. So literally it was protecting me. It was. And I hated myself skinny. I hated myself skinny. I had a low self-esteem because of my skinny body and how people used to wonder if I was sick, you know, if I used to eat and all of that. And so I, of course, what would have happened? I would have gained the weight because I didn't want anybody to see me that way. And so I wanted to understand why. You know, I would do weight loss, I would do all these different diets and I would shed it, add it back. And, you know, I couldn't stay in one place until I got to my sweet spot. And I started to love me for who I am. Because the truth is, you cannot let something go that you do not love. You can't hate something and let go of it because that's the only energy you're putting out there. So it must come from a place of love, loving you for who you are now. You know, the second thing is the chatter in your head. So you know you want to enjoy a slice of cake, but you start to chatter. This cake that I'm going to eat, is it good for me? It's not good for me. It's going to add to my thighs. It's going to add to my bust. It's going to add to my stomach. It's going to add to my hips. But then you open your mouth and eat it. What do you think is going to happen? The more negative feeling, which is the predominant feeling that it's going to do this, that's exactly what it's going to do. And then you say, oh, I said it. Of course. That's why it's called self-prophecy. And so you have hypnotized yourself to believe that every time I eat these things, they're bad for me. What if it's the other way around? What if when you eat, you say this food nourishes me, does exactly what it needs to do in my body, and because my body functions properly, and my digestive system is on point, it breaks down everything in this thing that I'm going to eat, takes up what is nutritious for my body and discards the rest. What about that? And so every time you want to eat, you're eating properly. And then also sometimes in hypnosis, I found out that some people hold on to food because their parents said to them, don't waste food. You can't waste food. You must finish all your food because there are children who are suffering, who are not eating. And so that's engraved in your head. And you believe that everything on your plate you must swallow. In hypnotherapy, we'll change that around and tell you that it's okay to let food go. It's okay to waste food. Nothing is going to happen. They're wasting food anyways everywhere in the world. The same way some people are not eating enough is the same way other people are wasting food. And so when you change that chatter in your head and you tell yourself that, you're able to look at food and say, no, thank you. You may not be able to do it in your consciousness because you have not learned how to. But with hypnotherapy and in your subconscious mind, we will do it for you. We will change it around and help you know when to say no, when you're full, when you don't want it at all. You know, or you can keep some for later, you know, and then that chatter in your head keeps on going. Well, another thing we'll do is put for you the picture of who you now want to be in hypnotherapy. And so when you're listening to your transformational audio, you're hearing yourself say, I am now a size 10, weighing 80 kg, with my bust certain size, hips certain size, tummy certain size, arms. You create the picture, clear picture of who you want to be. And your subconscious mind says, is that who we are now? I got it for you. That's why hypnotherapy is powerful and is special. I mean, it's one of the best tools that I ever have. If you don't want it, that's fine. I understand that. But I can promise you as a survivor, let me say, or as a witness to how beautiful it is and what it can do for you, I say that if you want to do any weight management diet or whatever, that's great. But you want to deal with the mindset behind the weight first, and hypnotherapy will do that for you. I hope I've been able to help. So reach out to me. Let me help you. Let me help you sort out. I could never lose weight before. And when I started this, I lost, I think, 12 kg in less than 2 months, something like that. 2 months. I lost 12 or 13 kg. And I started to feel very good about myself, right? And so I can help you do the same as well. And not just weight loss. I mean, anything and everything you really want to touch. Hypnotherapy will remove it completely and replace a new belief, because we're not fighting the old behavior. We're replacing it with a new one that makes the old one obsolete. Remember that. You know, a lot of people are fighting. Don't fight it. Create a new habit, a better habit, and then gradually put it in. What happens is the other one goes back, until this then becomes the new one. And in hypnotherapy, you can totally achieve that in 21 days. I promise you. You'll be singing a different song. Anyways, I'm sure and I hope that I've been able to convince you rather than confuse you that weight loss, whatever you want to call it, that sits well for you, and hypnotherapy would help you and make it constant and make it stay. And who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want to shed 20 kg and remain 20 kg less for the rest of their lives? Hypnotherapy will do that for you. Have a wonderful day and holiday once again. My name is Adiola Kingsley James. Mwah! Love and light.